Good morning, fabulous fourth grade. It is April 17th, 2020, and it is a fabulous Friday. Today, we are going to continue with online instruction in our virtual classrooms. I'm going to share the screen. All right, again, good morning. Today, we're going to continue learning about photosynthesis. So, our learning goal, repeat after me. I can identify the process by which plants make food, the structures they use to undergo photosynthesis, and the functions of those structures. Again, I can identify the process by which plants make food, the structures they use to undergo photosynthesis, and the function of those structures. All right, so the big idea is that plants are made of plant cells. Because they cannot go find food, they must make their own food. The process by which plants make food is called photosynthesis. So today we're going to continue learning and then we're going to wrap up photosynthesis. All right, so we identified the process by which plants make food as photosynthesis and the structures that they use to undergo photosynthesis and the function of those structures. So we said that all plants have plant cells, and that a plant cell is typically quadrilateral in shape, meaning it has four sides. The outermost layer of the plant cell is the cell wall, and the cell wall decides what comes in and what it allows certain things to come in, and it allows other things to not come in. The nucleus is the brain of the cell, and that's the organelle that tells all the other organelles what to do. It's like the control center or the command center. The chloroplast was another structure in the plant cell, and it captures the chlorophyll within it captures sunlight energy. Once the plant receives water, sunlight, and carbon dioxide from the atmosphere or the environment, um, with, along with the sunlight energy captured by the chlorophyll, glucose and oxygen are made. So the mitochondria is actually where the energy is made, and the excess glucose that the plant is not using, the chemical energy is stored in the amyloplast. When I looked at the diagram, another difference that I saw was the vacuoles. The difference in the animal cell and the plant cell vacuoles is that plant cell typically has one large vacuole and the animal cells have multiple small vacuoles. And I posed the question and why, and the scholar in Michigan State answered correctly. She said that we can go to the kitchen and we can go to the kitchen and get us some water if we're thirsty. We can go to Smoothie King. We can go to McDonald's, get a large sweet tea for $1.10 if we are thirsty. But the plant cell, because it is rooted into the ground, it can't just go and get water. It has to wait on it to rain, or it has to wait on someone to water the soil. And so it has to store the water, especially for those seasons where we receive little to no rainfall. Right. So that is why the plant cell has a large vacuole. Right. So again, all plants have plant cells, and the plant cells have different structures that allow it to make food, or at least allow it to access the resources that it needs to make food. And then the plant itself also has structures, and those structures have functions, which is the job that it does. So the stem, again, we said the stem supports the plant, allows it to be tall, and it allows it to be closer to the sunlight. The leaves is mainly where the photosynthesis takes place in the plant cell or in the plant. And the leaves have stomatas on them, which are openings that take in the carbon dioxide and also release oxygen into the atmosphere. The openings also release and collect water. And the leaves also have veins on them. You see the little squiggly lines on top of the leaves, and those veins are how the water and the nutrients and the glucose gets through the plant. Another structure of the plant is the roots. So the roots are underground, and the roots are how the plant absorbs water and minerals through the soil. Um, and the last, we won't talk about pollination with this particular lesson. However, the bright colors of the plant attract insects so that the plant can continue to reproduce and undergo pollination. All right, so we identified the process by which plants make food as photosynthesis. We identified the structures that are needed for photosynthesis in the cell, and also the structures of the plant that allow it to survive and undergo photosynthesis. And we identified the functions or the jobs of those structures. So now we're going to continue our investigation in the classroom. All right, so let's click right here. And then how do plants make food? Well, we just identified how plants make food. So we're going to finish it up and wrap it up. Let's go to Google Classroom. So once you get into Google Classroom, I'm going to click Michigan State University. You're going to go to the classwork tab. After you go to the classwork tab, look for today's topic, which is still photosynthesis, and then look for today's date. It's the same in Chicago State. Classwork tab. Look for today's topic, photosynthesis, and today's date. And then it is also in Notre Dame, the classwork tab. Look for today's topic, photosynthesis, and today's date. All right, so we're going to work out of Notre Dame today. Remember, you could just click it and then click view assignment, or you could go to the stream and look for the last thing that Miss Davis posted. Make sure that you're on the instructions tab, and from the instructions tab, you'll see all of the steps that you need to take today. So we always start our lesson out with our academic vocabulary, our FAB vocab. And I want you to go over the vocabulary at least 2 times. And then after you go over the vocabulary 2 times, then I want you to play the match game. You can play the gravity game as well, but the gravity game requires that you know how to spell the words with 100% accuracy. And so we're going to play, well, we will play the match game once we finish with our vocabulary words. And if you have not already joined our classroom, please do so. We have a few other vocabulary words that you can continue to play with, especially with the scientific method that we practiced on last week, and then the energy that we practiced on before that. All right, so our first word is stems. My turn, stems, your turn. And the stem provides support and it brings the plant closer to the light. Our next word is roots. Our next word is, this is the part of the plant where the water and minerals enter the plant through the soil. Our next word is leaf. Our next word is, leaf is the part of the plant where most photosynthesis takes place to produce the plant's food. Oh, and then I like this because you could actually see those veins that we were just talking about. So these are the veins in the plant. A lot of people just said they're squiggly lines, but they're actually the veins of the plant. And you can, this is how the water and the minerals and also sometimes the glucose gets through the plant. Stomata, your turn. So the stomata is the tiny holes in the leaves of the plant where gases like carbon dioxide and oxygen and also water enter and exit. Chlorophyll, your turn. So the chlorophyll is found in the chloroplast, and it's a green pigment in plants that makes it possible for them to make food. And so what the chlorophyll does is that it just collects the sunlight energy. Chloroplast, my turn. Chloroplast, your turn. Chloroplast is a structure where photosynthesis takes place and it contains the chlorophyll, that green pigment we were just talking about. My turn, oxygen, your turn. So oxygen is an important byproduct of photosynthesis in which animals need to breathe. My turn. Carbon dioxide, your turn. Carbon dioxide is a colorless, odorless gas. It's a material needed in photosynthesis and it's produced by humans and animals. My turn. Sunlight, your turn. Sunlight is energy from the sun that is used by plants to produce their own food by the process of photosynthesis. My turn. Glucose, your turn. So glucose is the simple sugar that is made during photosynthesis. All right, my turn. Water, sunlight, and carbon dioxide. So in order for a plant to make its own food, a green plant needs these three things from the environment. So these are things that the plant does not make on its own. It has to receive them from the environment. My turn. Respiration, your turn. So respiration is the process by which plant animals and other living things use oxygen to carry out life processes. My turn. Photosynthesis, your turn. Photosynthesis is the process by which a plant uses sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water from the environment and its own chlorophyll to make its own food. We've been talking about photosynthesis all week. And then finally, my turn. Chemical energy, your turn. So chemical energy, chlorophyll absorbs energy from the sun, and then the plant stores it as chemical energy in sugar and starches. So this is the energy conversion. So the sunlight energy with the within the chlorophyll um, com- converts and becomes chemical energy, and it's stored until the plant actually needs it for energy. Right. And so once we finish our vocabulary, once we finish our fab vocab, then we go to match. And from match, we're going to play the match game by matching the academic vocabulary to the definition. Right. So energy from the sun that is used by plants. Sunlight. All right. In order to make its own food, a green pigment. That's chlorophyll. Chlorophyll, see it, must be behind it. I'll come back to that one. The type of sugar, that's glucose. The materials needed in photosynthesis, we produce that. Water, sunlight, these three things. And then the part of the plant where water and minerals, those are the roots. And then photosynthesis. I didn't do as good at this time. And okay, I see you. All right. Right. So again, I want you to play the vocabulary game 2 times. I'm not going to play it again. I want you to play it 2 times at least, just so that you can become familiar with the academic vocabulary, because these are vocabulary words that you're going to also see in 5th grade and beyond. And I just want you to be more than prepared. All right. So once we finish our fab vocab and we've done our match game at least 2 times, then we go back to Google Classroom and it says to complete the ReadWorks. Some scholars did complete the ReadWorks yesterday, and there were a few scholars that started but did not finish. And so I want you to finish the ReadWorks, sign in, and then once you sign in, do the question set. I'm not going to sign in. However, you're going to sign in and then you're going to scroll all the way down after you finish answering the questions, even the fill in the blanks where you have to type in the answer those as well. And then after you answer those questions, press the submit button. It'll be a gray submit button at the bottom of the screen. And so complete that. You've had 2 ReadWork assignments this week. If you need my help with anything, please let me know. So after you finish the ReadWorks, it says the photosynthesis interactive. So this is the photosynthesis interactive game. There are several different things that you can do. And I just want you, once you finish, to come in and still has to finish loading. So once you finish, I want you to come in and you'll answer the questions. And then after you answer the questions, you can play a brief game. I'm gonna wait on it to finish loading. Now I played the game yesterday with, I had to shoot things with my little spaceship. And all right, so we are going to do, let's do leaf anatomy. All right, and so here's my little pilot. All right, I'm shooting, and then I'm gonna go all the way up and start shooting again, go all the way up some more, shooting again, and now I can move forward, going to the site of photosynthesis. All right, and so here at the leaf, now there's a lot more that you can do on here, but this is what I want you to focus on. And I'm not gonna walk you through the game because then I feel like I'll be giving it away, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to close this out, but just make sure that after you finish your read works that you play the interactive game. And to shoot, you use the space button, and to move, you use the arrow keys. And I know that you have those on your Chromebooks. All right, finally, once you finish with the photosynthesis interactive game, and it just, you walk through the steps of photosynthesis, and we've been talking about them all week. Then you'll go to the Legends of Learning. In the Legends of Learning, I have another academic game, and it's just a playlist. And you're going to, let me move this down. You're going to click at the top where it says Student and Teacher Login. And then from here, you're going to, be students. And so you're going to play now. And then it says play teachers playlist. And I put my playlist in the instructions. And some of you already know it by heart, but I put my playlist in the instructions so you can play my playlist. It's the photosynthesis one. And then you also can play the awakening. But I would prefer you play the playlist with photosynthesis first. All right. And so then once you finish that, you're done. So if you have any other questions, please reach out to me. So again, work on your fab vocab. Want to become really familiar with that. Go over the vocabulary at least twice, and then play the match game twice. After you work on your fab vocab and you go over the vocabulary at least twice, then I want you to complete your read works if you have not already completed it. Then after you finish that, I want you to do the photosynthesis interactive, where you have to shoot all the monsters, and then you have to make your way to the plant and cause photosynthesis to take place. All right, after you finish the photosynthesis interactive, then I want you to go to the Legends of Learning. And there is actual photosynthesis, and it'll walk you through. You'll have to plant the seed. You'll have to give the seed everything it needs in order to make it grow. And then you'll have to help the seed go through photosynthesis so that it can make its own plant food. And there are 3 other games in that playlist as well. All right. So again, I want you also to be logging on Compass Learning, making sure that you're completing those assignments every day. And then make sure you're also logging on Zearn and completing those assignments every day. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. You can email me, you can message me in Dojo. You can also message me in Google Classroom. If you're messaging me in Google Classroom, make sure that you're messaging me under today's topic, so that I'll know where to go to give you, give you your help or to answer your requests. All right. Also, make sure that you're reading, and make sure that you go outside. Outside air it's nice to be in the house under the air conditioner, but we also want to go outside and experience the sun and get some vitamin D. All right. So that's it. I love you guys. I miss you guys so much. And I can't wait until I get to hug you again, get to spend time with you again, and listen to all the amazing stories that you have to tell me. If you need me, I'm here. Have a great day, promise.